If you're an Airbnb business owner, then chances are you've considered creating a direct booking website in order to avoid that 3% fee that the platform normally charges you. Well, I've created my own booking website in the past, which is why in today's video, I'll be taking you guys through a step-by-step walkthrough on how to build a professional direct booking website for your Airbnb without needing to know a single line of code. Now, the three different platforms that we're going to be going over in this video are going to be Namecheap, Hostinger, as well as Wordpress. But it's really just two different platforms because Hostinger and WordPress go together in the same package. Now, there's two different ways that you can go about this. You can either A, do it yourself, or B, you can hire somebody to build out the website for you. But with this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can build out your website on your own. And we actually recommend doing it this way so that you don't have to spend a lot of money hiring somebody else to do it for you. So if you have the budget for it, that's awesome. You can go on platforms like Upwork or Fiverr to hire a WordPress expert, and you'll be able to add them onto your domain as an administrator where they can add in all the stuff that you need. But now that you know about everything that we're going to be going over in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build out your website step by step. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so you're going to want to go on your web browser and you're going to want to go ahead and type into the search bar hostinger.com/startupwise. That's going to take you to this website right here where you can claim this exclusive deal of just $3 per month plus 2 months for free for your web hosting. So I'm going to go ahead and click on claim deal right here. And now it's going to show me the different web hosting plans that they have, right? They have the single web hosting for $2 a month. They have the premium web hosting for $3 a month. And then they have the business web hosting for $4 a month. Now we recommend getting the $3 per month because it comes with 2 months free and it allows you to make 100 different websites. So chances are Airbnb isn't the only business that you have if you're watching this video, and you're not only going to have one website, you're going to have multiple in the future. You also get 50 more gigabytes of SSD storage, you have unlimited bandwidth, a free domain, and yeah, a bunch of other features that you wouldn't get if you were to just go with the single web hosting plan. So I'm going to go ahead and for this video select the premium web hosting, so I'll add this to my cart, and it's going to take me to this website right here where I can choose a time period. So it's going to have a monthly option, a yearly option, 2 years, and then 4 years. Now we actually recommend getting the 48 months because you can see right here, you're saving over $400. Plus you get 2 months free. Plus with an Airbnb direct booking website, you're probably looking at something that's really long term. So why not just spend that money up front so that you can save on a ton of money in the long term. Now, if I scroll down here, it's going to allow me to create an account and then also select my payment method. And right here where it asks you if you have a coupon code, just go ahead and type in StartupWise. And then once you click on apply, it's going to apply that discount for you guys. And you guys are basically going to get 4 years of premium web hosting for just $130. So this is a really good deal and I highly recommend that you guys take advantage of this opportunity while it's here. Once that's done, you're gonna go ahead and enter in the rest of your information and submit your payment. Now, once you finalize your payment, you're gonna be sent to a landing page like this where it allows you to claim your free domain if you went with the premium web hosting. So I'm gonna go ahead and click claim domain right here. And this is where I would come up with the name for the website. So let's say I wanna name this website CCC Stays, and let's go ahead and also add the .com and then check the availability of this website. So you can see right here that the domain name is available and that's going to be free for the very first year. But if that's taken, then you guys can also try something like a .co ending. We don't recommend using something like a .net or anything like that. At least for an Airbnb direct booking website, it would look way more professional if you had a .com or a .co. Now let's say in the future you want to build out a different website, right? So you're going to need a different domain name for that. And in order to get that, you can use a website like Namecheap. And we'll leave a link down in the description for all of these websites down below if you guys want to check it out. But basically what you're going to do is go onto this website and go ahead and just type in the domain name that you want. So let's say I just type in the same thing, right? CCC Stays, and I'll just go ahead and search. And you can see right here that it is available for about $10 per year. And it also shows me a bunch of other options like .io. And if I want, I can also search for the .co ending. And you guys can see right here that it's also available for about the same price. Once you guys have found an available domain name, you guys are just going to add to cart right here, and you can choose to add some VPN protection, a business email, premium DNS, speed and security, SSL certificates, WordPress hosting, web hosting, or social media manager. But with Hostinger, you guys aren't going to need WordPress hosting because it actually comes with Hostinger. And Hostinger also gives you the business email with your website. So I would say the only thing that you guys might need is the SSL certificate. And from there, you just click on checkout. You can change the time period of your domain registration. Once that's done, you can go ahead and confirm the order. And then from here, it's going to ask you to create an account where you can enter in your payment information and then get the domain that way. And so that's a method to getting domain names for cheap if you guys want to make multiple websites in the future. But yeah, going back to Hostinger, I have the domain name available right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and claim the free domain. And once that's done, it's going to have you input your domain profile. And in order to register your domain, they're going to need your name, your email, your phone number, and your address. And so you can put in that information right here and then click on finish registration. And from there, I'm going to go back to my home page. And right here, we can see the domain name pop up right here. And you're also probably going to see a premium web hosting setup right here. So just click on setup, and right here, it's going to say hello, and you're just going to click on start now. And from here, because you're creating a new website, you're going to select create a new website, and it's going to give you two different options. It's going to ask if you want to use WordPress or the hosting or website builder. For this video, I'm going to show you how to use WordPress just because there are so many plugins on WordPress, and it's one of the biggest website builders out there on the internet right now. So I'll select WordPress, and then it's going to ask me to create login details for the WordPress account. Once that's done, I'll just go ahead and choose a domain right here. So I'll choose CCC stays, and I'll select that. Once that's done, you just have to finish the setup. And from here, it's going to start setting up your website. Now, while you're waiting for your website to get set up, you can go ahead and check out this website right here called pexels.com. And from here, you can search up a bunch of different pictures that you can include on your website. So let's say you're doing an Airbnb in like Arizona, right? So in that area, you have a bunch of different amenities like the Grand Canyon. So on this website right here, I can type in Grand Canyon, and you can find a bunch of free photos that you can include on your website, right? So this doesn't just apply for, finding pictures of like amenities. You can also find photos of, different house designs just to show potential clients and also potential partners that you have a professional website. Now, going back to Hostinger, it's going to say that you are ready now. So I can click on view your website, and I can also go to the control panel. So I'm going to go ahead and click on manage site right here. And from here, you're going to see the panel on the Hostinger website where you can set up your email for the website. And you can see a bunch of different other settings that you can change about your hosting, performance, security, and things like that. And if I want to go into my website, then I could just click on this right here, and we'll just go back and then go ahead and also view our website. Right here, it's going to ask us to verify if we're human. And if it gives you this page and doesn't install WordPress for you, then you're just going to go back to your dashboard, go down to website, WordPress, and then click on install WordPress. And from there, it's going to ask you to enter in your WordPress account information in order to install WordPress. But from here, if I go back to view website, it's going to go ahead and take me to the homepage that they already pre-built for us. So you guys can see that it's pretty basic. And from here, if I want to go ahead and customize the website, then I'm just going to go ahead and type in the website. So CCCC stays. So I'm going to type in the website.com and then /WP and then -admin. From here, it's going to ask you to log in. So you're just going to enter in your login information again. And from here, the very first thing that you're going to want to do is go over to settings, go to permalinks, and then change this from custom structure to post name. Basically, what this is going to do is it's going to keep your website name, and then it's going to have the post name after it. Instead of having a custom format for each page, you just put it onto the post name, and it's going to make it a lot more organized that way. From here, you're going to want to go ahead and install two plugins. So I'm going to go ahead and go to plugins and then add new. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and install Yoast SEO. SEO is always good for your websites to have, and this is also going to allow you to preview what your website looks like when you're editing your page. So I'll just go ahead and click install, and then right here, I'll click on activate after it's done installing. Then I'm going to go back to plugins and then add new, and then I'm going to search for Elementor, which is going to show up with Elementor website builder right here. And this is the one that I'm going to want to install as well as activate. From here, it's going to ask you if you want to create an account, but just go ahead and exit out of this. You don't really need it right now. So you guys can set up your accounts with Yoast SEO and Elementor on your own. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and choose the theme. So I'll go down to appearance right here and then select theme. And you can see right here that the active one is 2023. But if I want to choose a different theme, then I'll just go ahead and add a new theme right here. And you can see that they have a bunch of different themes that you guys can choose depending on which look that you're trying to go for. Normally, the one that I recommend for all beginners is just Astra. This one's super beginner friendly. It's very, very popular, and it pretty much has everything that you would need. So I'm going to go ahead and click install right here and then click on activate. And that's going to take me back to the themes page where it tells me that the active theme is Astra. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on customize, and you can see here that they've pre-built everything for you. But obviously, you're going to want to change all of this stuff for your own website. So let's get into how you can do that right now. So first, let's change the header. So you're going to want to go ahead and go to the header builder, and you see that they have the site title and logo first, then the primary menu, and then the social icons. So you can see it goes in order from left to right. And if I go ahead and click on the site title and logo, you're going to see that they already have a logo on there. So if you guys have a logo, then you guys can just click on here and you can upload the picture onto your WordPress. And from here, you can upload your photo, and then that should change it. So right now, because we don't have a logo, I'm just going to click on remove. And if I want to replace replace it with text instead, then I'll just go ahead and click the add button right here. And you can see that I can add different features like an account, a button, secondary menu, a search menu, as well as widgets. But for this one, because I just want to add some text, I'll just click on HTML1 and you can see that the text pops up right here. Now from here, I can either go back and then choose the HTML1, or I could choose the HTML1 right here. So I'll go ahead and click on HTML1, and then right here, you can change up the text to whatever you want. So let's say I just want to change it to the website name, so CCC stays. And then if I want to change the color, then I'll just go ahead and go to design right here, and I'll change the text color to, let's say, white. And then I'll also change the font size to make it a little bit bigger. And then going back to general, I can go ahead and bold it if I want, and I can even turn it into a heading 1 if I want to make it bigger. That's going to change it to black text. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to white. So yeah, you guys can mess around with this and change it up to however you want it. But let's say I'm good with that. I can go ahead and change the socials. So if I have an Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter account for my Airbnb business, then I'll go ahead and link them right here. If you guys don't have any social media just yet, then you can just go ahead and remove the element, and then it's just going to have the primary menu. Now, if I go into my primary menu and I want to configure the menu, you guys are going to see that it basically allows me to customize the primary menu, secondary menu, as well as the off canvas, logged in, and footer menu. And if you guys are wondering how you can customize the menu, so let's say you don't want this to be services, you want it to be something else, then don't worry, we're going to cover that later on in this video after we're done customizing this homepage. Now from here, you guys can also go into site identity, and from here, you guys can select a site icon. So this is basically going to be the favicon of the website. So that's basically going to be this picture right here of this little globe icon. Same thing as like Hostinger, how they have the purple H, and same thing for Namecheap, how they have the orange square with the N. That's basically going to be the icon of your website. So you guys can see that if I go to the question mark, site icons are going to be a square of at least 512 by 512 pixels. And as you guys can see in the background, there's like a consistent gradient color. So if I want to change that, I'll just go ahead and go to global, and I can go to colors, and I can change the theme color for the accents, links, headings, body text, and the borders. So basically this whole entire page was built on Astra, which is totally fine. You guys can use Astra to build out your entire website. But if you guys want something easier, then you guys can go ahead and use Elementor. So I'll go ahead and click publish to save the changes that I made, and then I'll go ahead and click X right here. Then what I'm going to do is go into pages right here, and you can see right here that this is the homepage that we were editing. And if you guys want, you guys can go ahead and click on edit right here, and that's going to allow you to change the background color, add in stuff right here, and you can see that it looks kind of complicated. So what I'll do is I'll click on edit with Elementor right here, and if we take a look at the navigation bar right here on the left, you can see that it's a really simple drag and drop system that they have, where let's say you want to have a heading, right? So you can just drag that heading to pretty much anywhere on the page, right? So let's say I want to make this on top of this picture right here. I can go ahead and click into the title and add a heading title. So let's say I want to change the text to something like come and enjoy your stay at CCC stays. And I can go ahead and change the size. So let's say I want to make this large, and I can change the alignment. So let's say I want to center this text, and if I go into style, then you can see that I can change the text color, the typography, the text stroke. I can add a shadow, and I can even change the blend mode of the text. Let's say I want it to blend in with the background. I would choose something like multiply. So let's say I just want to change it to black. And then if you go into the advanced, you can change things like the margin, the padding, change the width of the text. And if you scroll down, you can even change things like the motion effects. So as soon as you enter the page, you can have it fade in from the top, the left, the right, and you can even have it zoom in, bounce in, slide in, rotate in. And yeah, they have just a bunch of different transitions and animations that you can add to your website. And if I go to transform, you guys can see that I can rotate it, offset it, change the scale, and I can even flip it horizontally or vertically. I can change the background type, so I can make it just a solid color, or I can make it a gradient. I can even change the background to an image. If I go to border, then you guys can see that I can add a border to it. You guys can see I can add like a solid border to it, or I can add a double. There's also dotted, so that's what it would look like. So yeah, tons of customizations. If you go to mask and I turn on the mask, you can see that I can make whatever I select fit a certain shape. So let's say I have like a picture, like this picture, for example, and I want it to fit inside a circle. I can do a flower and a bunch of different other shapes. But for now, I'll just click on off since it's not a picture, it's text. And on the responsive tab, you can choose to hide it on certain certain platforms, like you can choose to hide it on desktop, tablet, or mobile. So if you have any custom code that you want to add into your elements, then you can do that here, but you do need to upgrade your plan to the Elementor Pro. And it's the same thing for adding custom CSS code. So yeah, super customizable and tons of different options that you can mess around with in Elementor. And if I go ahead and click on this button right here, then it'll take me back to the elements page where I can choose anything else. So this one was a heading, but I can also add an image, right? So let's say I want to add an image right below the heading, so I can put it right there. And let's say I want it to be aligned to the center and change it to a medium size picture. And right here, I can choose the image and I can select files. And from here, let's say I want to add in this picture right here. So I'll drag that in. And once that's done uploading, I can go ahead and insert the media, and you can see that it updated the photo. Now, if this is too big, I'll just go to style and I'll go ahead and change the width to whatever I want. So I can make the width like 20% if I want it super small, or I can upscale it all the way up to 100%. If I go into the advanced, you guys are going to see that it's pretty much the exact same thing. So you have the animations, you can transform it, you can add a background, and right here where the mask is, you can turn that on, and you can see that the picture fits into that circle shape. You can also change it to a flower shape, a triangle, and you can even add a custom shape by uploading an image. And yeah, if we go back to the image size, you guys can see that it's a little bit blurry right now, but if I make it full, then it's going to go ahead and make it the full quality. So there's a bunch of other elements that you can add to your page, right? Like an intersection, a video, button, divider, Google Maps, icon, even a form. And down here, if you scroll down to the Pro section, you can see that there's a bunch of other Pro elements that you can add to your website. So they have things like posts, they have galleries, you can add a price table, add reviews, a countdown. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see that it also integrates with plugins like WooCommerce, where if you have like a product or a service that you sell, then you can use these elements on your website in order to add to your website, right? So something like a product rating or, you know, an add to cart button, those are things that you would be able to add onto your website in order to increase conversions. And even if I scroll down right here and I just want to edit the stuff that's already made, I can go ahead and just click on it. Then you're going to be able to go to the text editor and then change all the text, the button link, as well as the image. And the great thing about Elementor is that they have a bunch of different pre-built templates that you can choose from. So if I go ahead and click on this button right here, then it's going to allow me to choose the theme builder. And if I click on that, you can see that there's a bunch of different parts of your website that you can just load in, right? Like a header, a footer, single page, single post, archive, a search results page, products, product archive, and even a 404 page. However, the only thing about this is that you do have to upgrade to the Pro plan. But if you're going to be using Elementor to build out all of the rest of your websites, then we say it's very well worth the cost. And if you guys are interested, we'll be leaving a link down in the description below for you guys to check out. Going back to our page, they also have a Navigator tool right here where you can select each section, right? So this is basically the entire page. And so I can go in and change the content width. I can change the column gaps, the height, and I can even stretch these sections so that it takes up the full width of the page instead of having those margins on the side of your website. So I usually like to make this yes for each section that I make, right? So if you're going to add another section, like for example, I scroll all the way down here, I can go ahead and click on that plus button right there, and it'll allow me to select the structure of my new section. So I can make it side by side. I can make it 3 different columns, 4 different columns, 5 different columns. So let's say I want to do a side by side. It's going to create another section right here. And from here, I can add a bunch of stuff. So I can add an image to the right-hand side. And then if I go back, then I can add some text editor on the right-hand side. And let's say we want to make something similar like this, where we have text on the left-hand side and a picture on the right. We could do something like that with this one. So I'll just go ahead and upload a image that I have. And as for the text, I can just go ahead and go to style, and I can change the text color to make it a little bit more darker, and I can change the typography to something a little bit more professional. So let's go with like something like Oswald. I can change the font size. So let's say I want to make it like that, and I want to make it bold, and then I can make the text align to the center and even add a text shadow. So I'll just go ahead and make this black. And if I want to center this text right here in the middle vertically, then I would just choose on the column, right? So the column chooses the entire box, and right here where it says vertical align, I would just choose this to middle, and you can see that it shifts the text down. And if I go to style, then I can also change stuff like the background type. So if I want the entire square to have like a certain background color, let's say for example, I want to make it green, and let's say you want to create a section like this where it has 3 different things with text below. All you would have to do is go ahead and add another section. This time you make it 3 different things, and right here you can add in an image. So you have images for each one, and then inside of each image you can add a text editor. So you can see right here, I can add it right below as a new section, or or you could just attach it to each column that you have. So it could be something like this, where I just drag the text editor underneath each column. And let's say you want to do something like this, where it has a picture on the right hand side, text on the left hand side, a button, as well as a background gradient. All you'd have to do is just grab the intersection one. So let's say I put it right in the middle, and I can go in and change the style of this section, and then go ahead and click on slideshow to select an image, and then I can choose my image that I chose before. So if I hide this image right here, you guys are gonna see that the image is for this intersection right here. And if I want it to stretch all the way out, then I'll just go to layout, and I would go to height, and then fit to screen. And the cool thing about this is that you can also add a transition as well as a Ken Burns effect. So what this basically means is if you turn this on and you choose a direction, so for example in, this basically means that the picture is going to be slowly zooming in when you're on the website. Now from here, I can add a header inside of this box right here, and I can go ahead and just center the column. So I'll select the column and then vertically align it to the middle. And then for the text, I can just go ahead and change the text color to like white, and I can change the text to say something like enjoy your stay. And then I can also add another text editor right underneath and go ahead and change this to white as well. And then right underneath that, I can add a button and then also change this as well. So I can turn it to a large button. And if I go to style, then I can go ahead and change the color. So let's say I want a black button. And then if I want it to have like rounded corners, then I'll just go to the border radius and then bump this up. And you can see that it's starting to turn into an oval. Then here on the right hand side, I can just go ahead and add an image, and then just go ahead and center this column as well, and then upload another image. And if I go ahead and move the navigator bar to the right hand side, you guys are going to see that this is what it looks like currently. And obviously you guys are going to be going in and changing all of the different sizing and the dimensions and the spacing in between everything. But that's pretty much how you can use Elementor to customize your page. Now from here, once you're done and you want to save your changes, you'll just go ahead and click on the update button right here. And from there, I can go and click this button right here and then click exit. That's going to bring me back to this page. And if I want to go back to the editor, then I'll just go ahead and click this button right here. And now if I go to my website and I go ahead and refresh it, then you guys are going to see that it has everything that we have here. You guys are going to see that it has all the different customizations that we added. Now, the next page that you're probably going to want to make for your Airbnb booking website is going to be an amenities page. So if you go to the pages right here and you click on add new, you can add a title to it. So let's just call it amenities. And you can also change the URL. So if I click on this, you'll see that the permalink is already set to the post name. So it's called amenities. And then right here, I can go ahead and save the draft. And if I click on edit with Elementor, that's where it'll take me to the exact same thing as before, where I can customize it like dragging in headings, sections, images, whatever you want. Some other pages that you guys are probably also going to want is, an about us page. So about us, and then I'll just go ahead and save draft. And then you can also create another one for contact us and save draft, go back. And the last thing that you can add is a booking page. So book a stay and save that draft as well. And so once you have these pages, you can go ahead and change your menu now. So if you go down to appearance and right here where it says menus, you can see that we have on the menu right now the home page, services page, about page, reviews page, why us page, as well as a contact page. And this menu right here is where you'd be able to add pages to your menu. So because we don't see anything, we have to go back to our pages and we have to publish the page. And let's just say that you have your amenities already set up. You'll just go ahead and go to quick edit right here, and you can save the status as published. If I click on update and I go back to my menus, then you can see right here that it has the amenities on there. If I just check that and I add it to the menu, you can see that it adds it right there at the bottom. I could just click and drag it to wherever I want. So let's say I want to add it right next to the home button. If I go ahead and click save menu, you guys are going to see that if I go back to the website and I refresh, and it looks like this text right here is covering this. So we'll just go ahead and edit with Elementor. So now I'm going to go ahead and click this heading right here and right click it. And you can see that you can also duplicate, you can copy, you can paste from another site, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. And then I'll click on update, and then it's going to bring me back to here, and I'll update it again. So now when I go back to my website, you guys can see that the amenities is right there next to the home button. And if you guys want to see an example of a direct booking website, you guys can check out this website right here called comfycove.co, and you guys can see that it has a bunch of the stuff that I was talking about, right? Like a home button, an amenities button, partner with us, as well as a contact us button. And if you scroll down, you guys can see that it's pretty simple, and it basically just has like a little description, the location, as well as a learn more button. And if I click on that, then it's going to bring us to the amenities page where we can can see all the different amenities that the Airbnb business has. And then if I scroll up and I go up to partner with us, you guys can see that this is pretty much like an about us page. And inside of this, I have the FAQs, and I was able to grab this picture and put it in sort of like a blob shape. And yeah, this whole entire website was built on WordPress, and you guys need a reference when you guys are building out your own website. You guys can check this out. We'll be leaving a link down in the description below. So now that you know exactly how to make a booking website for your Airbnb, try it out for yourself and comment below if you have any questions. As always, we'll be leaving links below in case you guys wanted to check out some of the platforms and websites that I went over. And if you guys use those links, it'll support the channel and allow us to continue making free tutorials like this. And we'll also be leaving timestamps throughout the video so that you guys can follow along and reference back to each step while you guys are building out your own website. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to tell us that you want more tutorials like this on the channel. It really helps this channel reach out to other people who could benefit from these tutorials. And yeah, thank you guys again for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.